Hey Plant Fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is David. Go ahead, say it.
This is not my jungle. Well, this is my jungle.
It's your jungle.
It's
yes,
not really
not mine.
It's more
not
of like
yet.
It's more of like a wooded area of foliage.
It's not a jungle
it's not
yet.
A jungle. No, unless it's like 95 degrees and really humid. Yeah.
I mean, if it was up to me, it would definitely be warmer and more humid in here. Anyway.
Hey Plant Fam!
We did that part already.
I wanted to make sure the volume
So, today we are going to be talking about my top 10 wish list plants for 2022. I keep forgetting.
It's really exciting.
That it's 2022.
Before you even start, how many of these wish list plants do you think you'll have by the end of the year?
I don't know.
All of them?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
No.
But you cleared out your last year's list, like
I didn't really have a definitive list last year.
Before, maybe.
I just kind of had like a lot of plants that I wanted.
Yes.
This is the list of kind of like what's left over that I didn't acquire this past year. And some new stuff too.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to start with number 10 and then work our way all the way up to number 1. He's got pictures of each one of the plants on his phone so that he knows what I'm talking about.
You're like you're my handler. Like I'm like plant.
No, so that you can comment on how you feel about the
I
plants too, and if you agree with my choices or not.
Let me see. If you give me a vibe, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the first one on my list, the number 10 wish list plant, is the Scindapsus pictus tricolor. I believe is the like proper name for it. So I'm going to be leaving photos of everything that I'm talking about on the screen, and they're going to be like covering your face.
Of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the picture that they're going to be seeing. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory why I like this plant. I'm pretty into the whole camouflage vibe. I like anything that's like tricolor usually and has the different shades of green in there. What I really like about this one is that the leaf itself looks very dark, and then the variegation is kind of contrasting lighter greens. So I've been told that a lot of these photos are doctored though, that they're like edited to look more like dark, look darker than they are. I'm really bad at words. Sometimes you put sentences together when you're filming that you really don't make sense at all.
Sometimes I sentence words together poorly. Yeah.
What he said. A lot of people that I know that have this plant say that it's not necessarily as dark green as the photos, but I still want to find out for myself.
Got plants out here catfishing people. That's what it is.
And I love Scindapsus.
Yeah.
Right? It's a pretty plant.
It's pretty. I'm looking at it right now. It's quite lovely.
Yeah. It's probably slow as crap to grow, but it's really pretty. So I was going back and forth with the number 10 slot between this and the variegated jade Scindapsus. So I feel like they're kind of both on the list together. Like I'd be happy getting either one.
Gotcha.
Or both.
Right.
I just want all the Scindapsus, really. It's what it is. Like I want them all. It's just, this is the one I have had my eye on for a while now. And it's becoming more popular, so I might be able to import it this year.
I mean, they're pretty, but
for a good price.
Does it need like water?
Yes, it's a Scindapsus. It's thirsty. Like once a week, usually I
Okay.
water my Scindapsus. They are definitely more thirsty than other like more common, like easygoing.
No, that plant is totally your style for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Number 9 is one that I had never heard of until recently. I think I was watching, it might have been Kaylee Ellen, and she mentioned this. I genuinely don't remember. I may have just stumbled upon a photo of it on Instagram, and it's the Monstera burlmarks flame. Burl? Yes. It's really cool. It's almost like the Monstera deliciosa, but like more skeleton-like. Yeah, and it reminds me of the Philodendron tortum, which has been on my wish list for a really long time, and I could get one if I wanted one. I've just kind of put it on pause because it's a very big plant and it takes up a lot of space. So this one, they are
they don't look connected. That's the thing.
They don't have to be connected.
Okay, well then there goes that whole rule.
Fenestrations can be splits.
Okay.
as well as holes.
Got you.
So, yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Oh,
Sorry.
so I like the way that it's rounder, like more heart-shaped like a deliciosa, as opposed to the tortum that literally just like they stick out everywhere. So, but they're both cool. Although the tortum is a philodendron, not a monstera, but a lot of people get the two confused. Or when you go to the store and the monstera is labeled as a philodendron, monstera, tetrasperma, and you're like, it can't be all three. It's like, I don't understand what's happening here. But philodendron and monstera tend to get flip-flopped a lot for some reason.
Tetraspermidendron.
Tetraspermidendron, that's a good one.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a cool plant.
You'd have it in your space, right? I feel like
yeah,
it's...
you know what's nice though is like you can have plants around it really nearby and all the sunlight gets through anyway.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Good point.
It doesn't actually provide shade of any sort.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would actually prefer having one of those than a regular like green Monstera deliciosa. I have the Thai constellation on my mind too. I just never put it on my list because I know that I'm gonna get one day. I'm just like not really in a rush to get it right now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Because it's another one that's gonna take up a lot of space.
Right.
That we don't have.
No.
So that one was number 9, the Monstera burlmarks Flame. And number 8. Sometimes I'm slow to figure out how many fingers.
7. There's 8. Number 10. Yeah.
Number 8. Okay. So I'm bad at numbers.
Number this many.
Sue me.
That's fine. Math.
Number 8 is a plant that I have had my eye on for a while as well, and it is the Aglaonema rotundum. So this one is really cool because it's got these like pink veins. I don't know if they're necessarily as pink in real life as they appear on the photos, again, because you never know when people are editing their photos. And the lighting sometimes is different for different photos, so they may not have necessarily edited it, but they may have put some really intense lighting on it to make the colors look different. So at the end of the day, though, I'm really kind of obsessed with the contrast of the green and the pink. I've always been a big fan of pink and green combo. That's why if you've ever noticed, my bedroom walls are green and my curtains are pink. I've always had the pink and green theme going on since I was a kid. I've always enjoyed that color combination.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I like this one because it looks like, you know what it actually reminds me of? Have you ever seen Tron?
Yeah.
Like the light bikes?
Yeah.
Because it's like the bold neon.
Yeah, it
against
almost looks
black.
like lightning.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's like a Tron plant.
It is. And then there's one that's a cross between this one and the Aglaonema pictum tricolor. So it looks like the tricolor with the pink veins on it. And I want that one too, but because I have the tricolor, I feel like I would want this one first because I love the simplicity of the contrast. Like as much as I love variegation, I also love the simplicity of just like a smooth green leaf, just something really simple and beautiful. I don't know, I'm just kind of obsessed with all the leaves.
No, that's good.
Because then I love when they just have like a couple of simple little veins. Like, I don't know.
You have all the preferences and none of the preferences at the same time.
I do.
You just like plants.
I do.
Yeah, I know.
So that's number 8.
Hold on. You were even just like yesterday, like, spider plants aren't actually that bad.
No, I would get a little bonny, like curly one or cute. It's just the hanging things. Maybe if they didn't call them spiders, then they wouldn't freak me out. It's when the plant has a lot of them that it like kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like it just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
You just feel like they're gonna crawl on you or something?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, it's a plant. It's not gonna do it.
Well, maybe it will.
It's a plant of steel.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
So number 8 was the Aglaonema rotundum. And what's next? Number 7.
This is.
I had to look.
Number this many.
Number 7 is the Epipremnum Amplissimum silver. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah. So I'm going to show you guys the photo that I'm showing you is of a more mature leaf. So that's not what all of them are going to look like. But, I mean...
It looks like somebody made this plant for you.
I feel like I don't have to explain why I like it.
For sure.
It's silvery. It's kind of veiny. The leaves get really long and narrow. And it's an epipremnum. I mean... I love epipremnum.
For sure.
I think that the epipremnum pinnatum albo variegated is super underrated plant. Really easy variegated plant to take care of. You can get them for really cheap now too. Like, it's not an expensive plant at all. If you're comfortable having plants shipped, I know some people are weird about buying plants online, but they might be in the nursery soon too. I mean, they grow really quickly and really easily, so I have no reason to believe that that's not going to be a plant that you're going to be seeing a lot of this year, as well as the Monstera standeliana albo, because that thing grows like a weed. So the growers, they're growing them. They've been growing them, and they're coming.
They know.
They know for sure. So that's number 7 is the Amplissimum silver. I mean, anything that has silver in the name.
Right. If it's silver,
I want
fenestrated, or fuzzy, like those are usually...
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or like big and veiny.
Right. How old are you?
Anyway, number
That's getting
6.
excited.
No, it's not. Number 6 on my list. What is number 6? Number 6,
This one.
I've had on my list for a long time as well, but I would really like to actually try and acquire it at some point soon, because I love ficus, and it is the Ficus elastica shiveriana. So it doesn't look all that much different from like the Taneki and stuff like that, but the variegation is just different, right? Like, it's more green with like splotches of more like mottled speckly variegation. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Though I can't see it on the screen because the plant's over my face.
No, but you're looking at it
Yeah,
on the
that's
screen.
good.
I don't know. I love ficus. I know that it's not everybody's favorite genus, but my Taneki is one of my favorite plants, period.
Yeah.
I would cry if something happened to my Taneki. It's just, it brings me a lot of joy. I love how pink the leaves come out. And I love that ficus are trees. Like, there's something almost magical to me about being able to grow something from a tiny little plant into a big tree one day. Like, we want to have a house with a big entryway where we can have like some trees.
Ficus tree.
Right. So I'm trying to grow them from little, because how much fun is that when people come over one day and be like, wow, that's a beautiful tree. And you could be like, yeah, I grew it from when it was like this big.
Right.
Right? There's something really special about that to me. And then plants that you can pass along to like the next generation too. I mean, I keep saying I got to get one of like my nieces or nephews or like one of your kids into plants so that we can give like the nice ones that grow really big that you have for years and years. You want to pass those on. Some of my favorite plants are ones that I have that are from my grandmother's plants and stuff like that, you know? Like, I love the generational aspect to it.
For sure.
Feel me? Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any plants that were your parents, your grandparents. Yeah, I love hearing stories like that. I have a few cuttings from friends' parents' plants. And I love that too, because it's a special plant to them because it was their parents and then they shared it with me. So I feel like I have a little piece of that with me. Yes, it's just, it's meaningful. It's nice. Even if it's a common plant, it's really, really nice to know that it came from so long ago, so many generations of from somebody that you care about, you know?
Right.
Anyway, so that was number 6, I think, right? Yes.
For this next one, you only need one hand.
The next 4 are all Hoyas. I put all the Hoyas together for you guys. It was really hard to choose just a few to put in this video because realistically most of my wish list plants are Hoyas.
It's not surprising for anybody.
So I tried to add in other genera.
I don't know.
How do you say it? I don't think it matters. It just depends on how you feel like saying it. So anyway, number 5, I have the Hoya nicholsonier New Guinea Ghost. Say that 10 times fast.
The what?
Hoya nicholsonier
Nicholsonier.
New Guinea Ghost.
New Guinea Ghost. This one's pretty.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have to explain.
Yeah.
This is a really trendy Hoya right now among Hoya collectors. I have the Hoya Nictine, which is the nicholsonier crossed with Christine, I believe. I think it's a Cocoa Ranch hybrid. I didn't look it up since the last time I said that in a Hoya video, so don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. So it is just a very simple, kind of flat, slightly veiny leaf, but this variety in particular is just pretty much all silver.
Right.
So.
Slow grower? It's got to be a slow grower.
It's got to be, I'm assuming, because when it doesn't have a lot of green on it, and it's expensive. So usually like super silvery, expensive, slow grower.
Right.
Those usually
There's like a lab somewhere where they're like, let's make a plant for Jacqueline. It should be silver and grow slowly and called Hoya.
Yeah.
And fuzzy.
Yeah.
With fenestrations.
Does that
exist? That'd be really, really
with
cool.
veins. Yeah. So then number 4.
Oh boy.
The next Hoya on my list is the Hoya elliptica. I've had a few opportunities to buy this plant last year, but I didn't because I'm pretty picky about the specimen when it comes to Hoyas. Sometimes I'm just like, screw it, it's cheap, it's one leaf. I'm gonna grow it into a whole bunch of more leaves that I can grow to be nicer than the one that I'm buying.
Right.
But with certain plants, I'm very particular about like the specimen and who I'm getting it from and whether or not it's rooted. And when it comes to this plant, I just haven't found the one yet. Do you know what I mean? Like I always encourage people not to rush. That's something that I wish I had known a little bit earlier on. And even if somebody told me, I don't think I would have stopped anyway. Like when you first start collecting plants, you're like addicted. You just want all of them as fast as possible. And something that I tried to stress with you too is to like take it easy, take it slow, like especially with more of the common plants, like they're gonna be there, they're not going anywhere.
Could have warned me about peperomia.
I didn't want to ruin it for you.
You were like, look at how happy he is. His heart's gonna break.
I didn't want to ruin it. No, and some people are really good at taking care of peperomias. So I thought that maybe you might be one of those people.
They need water.
Yeah, but at first you were excited and you were watering them
regularly. Because they were so cool. They were like my little
new.
buddies.
I know. And but why do you think I like Hoyas?
Yeah, but they live.
You never water that thing.
I mean, sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Exactly. I love this one. This one reminds me of a turtle shell. Doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of like a turtle shell, but like not a peperomia prostrata that I can keep happy, but like...
that like
they're still very delicate.
Chelsea looking dimpled wide sort
yes.
of. Yeah.
It's just up my alley with the veins and the dimples. I love the shape of the leaves. They're almost like look like flat. It looks like someone put them in like one of those like panini machines.
Right.
Like pressed the little abs into it.
They put your big veiny thing in a panini press. That sounds really painful.
So number 4 is the Hoya elliptica. Okay. And number 3 is another Hoya.
It's big and veiny.
It's big and veiny.
Yes.
Quite big and veiny. Although I haven't gotten this one either because I'm waiting for the right specimen. And it's the Hoya meredithii. I've seen them for sale, but
it's like they're available, but
I gotta find the right one.
Okay.
So the picture that I'm showing you guys now is definitely a very large specimen that was probably grown in a greenhouse. You're not gonna find ones like this. This is why I was really picky about the Hoya Sarawak as well that I unboxed with you guys recently. Everybody said it was one of the most beautiful Sarawaks they've ever seen, and that's because I waited for the right one. I waited until I found that specimen that when you see the picture of it, you're like,
that one.
Yes. Because I don't really go to the stores that much to buy plants anymore. I just go to film mostly for you guys, and obviously I like to hunt. You never know what you're gonna find, but I don't get that same excitement out of it anymore because they don't really have the plants that would get me that excited. Right. Do you know what I mean? I'm not walking up into a local nursery and spotting a Hoya elliptica or a meredithii just hanging out there unless I live in the South. You know what I mean? Realistically, that's just not what nurseries are like up here. So when I see a photo of one online and that's the exact specimen that I can purchase myself, because when it comes to Hoyas, I have to know exactly which plant I'm buying. I refuse to just like willy-nilly buy a plant without knowing what it looks like. Very rarely will I trust somebody.
Right.
It has to be like a low price too. I'm not gonna spend $100 on a couple of leaves if I can't see them first. Yeah, so I'm just really picky about these particular Hoyas, and that's why I haven't picked one up yet. I gotta find just the right one, because sometimes they can look a little wonky. We don't want wonky.
No, we don't want wonky.
You know, that's what irritates me with the carry eye. I can never get a normal heart-shaped freaking leaf out of that Hoya.
You just have to cut them.
They're so weird.
No,
And the obovata sometimes too. It just comes out all like.
What is that you're doing?
Because that's what it looks like.
I've never seen a plant look
The
like
claw.
that. But okay.
You know what I mean? No. Did you remember that from Liar Liar?
Oh. The claw?
What?
It's been a while.
From
since I've
Liar
seen
Liar? When Jim
No, I
Carrey's
know
like
that-
the claw.
I don't remember the
Chases
claw
his
part.
son around
Oh,
with
okay.
it.
I guess-
Anyway,
all right, sure.
That's only one of my favorite movies ever. So number 3 was the Hoya meredithii, aka Big and Veiny. Number 2 is small and fuzzy, and it's the Hoya tomsonii.
It's creepy.
I have wanted this Hoya for so long, and I just never really see it. I'm sure if I searched for it, I could find
Do
it.
you know
but
what this reminds me of?
I'm waiting for like one of my trusted Hoya sellers to like have it.
These look like tarantula abdomens. They're like a little furry, and it's like the same shape. It's like a little hairy that way. They're
I
really,
love
They're
it.
really cool. Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
the fuzzy Hoya. I know that not everybody's into the fuzz, but it's kind of like the same way that certain plants will change color or have like powdery bluish stuff on them. It's their way of almost protecting them from sun damage.
Too much exposure,
yeah, just
right.
like your incana.
Like the incana.
Yeah, that's why plants tend to have those hairs on them. It's pretty cool,
Right.
actually.
That is really
Yay, biology.
cool. I know. This is pretty long hair. You could like brush them like your old My Little
That's what
Ponies
I
and
like
stuff,
about the
you know?
tomsonii, because I have a couple of other fuzzy Hoyas, but this one's like borderline hairy.
Yeah.
Not just like kind of
It's
soft
not just felted,
and
it
felty.
looks hairy,
Yeah,
right.
it's got like, you could see the individual little fuzzy hairs. Do they creep you out or you're into it?
No, I like it. To me, it just really reminds me of tarantula parts.
I'm okay with
In a
that.
weird way.
I'm not freaked out by tarantulas.
No, just spider
oddly
plants.
enough, just
Yeah.
because it's the prospect of them like boop, and just like landing on it. Okay, I'm traumatized from this one time that I was driving in the car and there was a spider and it was crawling up my leg and I had on a skirt.
Oh,
I thought I was gonna die.
oh, that's a horror movie beginning. If
I thought
ever
I
heard
thought
one.
I was
Yeah.
gonna die. I pulled
That's
over
pretty
and like
terrifying.
had a panic attack and then couldn't find the spider. So then I got back in the car to drive home, and I got home and I'm freaking out, right? I'm like stripping down. I'm about to get in the shower because I'm like convinced that this thing is still on me somewhere.
For sure.
And my mom thinks I'm losing it. Like literally thought I was cuckoo pants. And then like 10 minutes later, that damn spider starts crawling up the wall in my apartment, and my mom found it.
Oh,
It was on me the whole time.
this reminds me of that wonderful time we had outside of a Lowe's when there was a bug in your hair.
That was a good
That
one.
was a good one. You made some really
I
funny
think it's
faces.
the color.
We got some
I
great
haven't colored
pictures.
it in a while, so it's not
Yeah.
very red, but
That was a very determined bug.
I think I had just recently colored my hair, so it was
Yes.
pretty bright, and it was probably attracted to the color of my hair because it kept flying back into my hair.
I got it out of the car, it went back in the door, and it was like, no.
Literally was like, no.
Pikachu, I
It's-
choose you.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so that was number 2.
Okay.
The Hoya tomsonii.
Tom's,
EI.
Yeah.
Hawaii I. And the number 1 spot, can you guys guess?
Drum roll, please.
Because we all know that my favorite plant in my collection is the Monstera Adansonii, because I have like 7 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've potted a bunch of them together. Some of them are propagations, but like I have a lot of this plant and I love it. I don't know why. It's just
Wide form, narrow form, crinkly form.
I know I
non-crinkly
don't like
form.
the narrow form.
No.
No, I don't like the narrow form, and I don't really like when it's too wrinkly. That's why I like the ones that are flatter
Right.
and more velvety. I don't know the names still. I've done so much research. There's so much conflicting
dizzying.
information out there that I
Yeah.
don't even know what to call it. All I know is that there are lots of different subspecies of the Adansonii, and I have a few of them. And my favorite one is the flatter, more velvety one. And I feel like the leaves get bigger, like rounder on that one as well. So it's some sort of Monstera. Even if it's not an Adansonii, it's very closely related to it. So anyway, my number one wish list plant is the variegated Adansonii. Just the plain variegated one, not the mint, although I wouldn't be mad about the mint one since now we know it doesn't have a virus. Maybe.
Not if you're
We haven't
photoshopping.
actually seen the test results. But my dear friend Kaylee Ellen showed us how easy it is to actually test your plants for mosaic virus and other things. So if you guys want to watch that video, it's actually really fun and scientific, and plus she's entertaining as hell to watch. So variegated Adansonii. I mean, not very shocking, right? And
Not
I
at all.
probably will get one this year. I know a few people that have the plant and are more than happy to send me a cutting or do a trade. When the weather warms up, I can 100% import one now that I'm not terrified of importing plants anymore. Find yourself a plant buddy to do an import with if you're afraid to.
Plant buddies.
Well, because a lot of the time people are afraid to invest that amount of money into something that could be a complete failure. So if you split it with somebody else, then you're not necessarily spending hundreds of dollars. You might just be spending like $100, and then people always told me you kind of have to be okay with just throwing that money in the trash when you import plants.
No.
Because there is always a small chance
There's a
that
chance, yeah.
they're just all going to arrive completely dead.
But a lot of them are really nice about working with you too. Like if the plant is damaged, let us know. that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
for
So
sure. You
that's
want to be careful who you're working with. Like that's why I really liked Aroid Asia and Aroid Market. They were really easy to communicate with. I don't really necessarily prefer one over the other. I'm probably going to place orders with both again and see and compare and see what happens. Because they have a lot of the same plants, but they have different plants too. So anyway, that's not the point of this video.
No.
I hope that you guys enjoyed my wish list.
It was good.
Let me know if you have any of these plants on your wish list.
What?
So if you guys have any of these plants on your wish list, let me know in the comments below because I can't keep it together today.
No.
I've also been wearing this sweatshirt in the last like 4 videos, and I'm sorry, it's just really comfy cozy. I'll leave it linked for you guys below. If you that's rude, I've washed it. I just like the color. And he has a matching Plant Dad one.
I do.
I bought him this one for Christmas. I can link that on Amazon if you guys want it too. But this one is from Hello Fancy Plants.
Little fancy plant.
And I love them. They're so cozy.
It's a super
I like
cozy
literally
one.
live in these sweatshirts now from them. So check them out if you want to. You know I have a discount code for you. Link will be down below. It's probably just Jacqueline's Jungle. That's usually what the code is. But yeah. Shoulder dancing. If you like this video and you want to see more of this ridiculous crap,
Why?
give it a thumbs
What's
up.
wrong with you? But okay.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There's a join button down there. Feel free to join the official plant fam. We have a private group chat going on Instagram now too, so that we can all hang out and get to know each other and talk about plants and life and pets and whatever. So if you want to be part of that, check it out for a very small monthly fee. You could come and hang out and be part of the fam. Right.
With emojis.
Yes, crash emojis. And go follow him. He does stuff. He wrote a book.
I did. It feels like we just say this too much.
That's because we film a lot.
I know.
And it
Come
sounds
hang
repetitive
out on my channel.
for
I
me,
don't post
but-
nearly as often as she does. So
No.
hang out once in a while and you can just experience all of my crap.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, I like it.
Yeah, good crap on there.
Yeah, it's good crap.
Yeah, it's good crap.
There's definitely more crap coming too, so keep your eyes open for more
Always.
stuff from us.
Brace yourselves.
Oh, I just hit myself in the face with
Of
that.
course you did.
Anyway, I'm gonna go because this is a freaking disaster.
I'm out.